Welcome back to the coin world. Old coin review and value, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and the hidden value in your pocket change. The 1949 Wheat Penny is part of one of the most iconic series in American coinage. Minted from 1909 to 1958, the Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors worldwide. It was the first regular issue coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln, marking a major shift from traditional designs that showcase symbols and allegorical figures. The reverse side features the famous wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural strength, which became a beloved design element during the first half of the 20th century. By 1949, the United States was entering a new post-war world. War II had ended a few years earlier and the country was rapidly modernizing. People were building homes, industries were booming, and coins like the 1949 Wheat Penny became everyday tools in this evolving society. Although millions of these coins were minted, their historical backdrop makes each one a small piece of American post-war history. The 1949 Wheat Penny was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. Each mint's production numbers were different, and these variations still affect collector interest today. Denver minted the largest number, while San Francisco had a lower output, making some of those coins harder to find in top condition. Condition plays a critical role in the value of a 1949 penny. Most of these coins circulated heavily for decades, and only a fraction survived in uncirculated or near-perfect states. Coins with original mint luster, sharp wheat lines on the reverse, and minimal wear are highly desirable. Collectors and grading services look closely at the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and the absence of scratches or discoloration. Beyond basic mint marks and condition, varieties and errors from 1949 can make certain coins especially valuable. Double die outburst varieties, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or planchette errors have been documented and can increase value dramatically. Some rare errors have fetched surprisingly high prices at auctions, especially when authenticated by professional grading companies. The design itself is a timeless tribute. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has been admired for over a century. It captures Lincoln's thoughtful expression, reminding Americans of his leadership during one of the nation's most difficult periods. The wheat stalks on the reverse symbolize unity and growth, themes that were especially meaningful in 1949 as the country looked forward to a future of prosperity. This coin is also interesting from a historical, economic perspective. In 1949, a penny still held real buying power. Candy, postage, and other small items could be purchased with just a few cents. Today, holding a 1949 penny is like holding a small time capsule that connects you directly to that everyday life of mid-20th Emerson, that it could change your financial future. Yes, a simple Liberty Wheat Penny from 1932 has the potential to turn the tables for you in ways you might not expect. If you have one of these rare coins of an older generation, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Stick around until the end of the video to learn about its real price and how you can sell it for maximum value. The 1932 Liberty Wheat Penny carries more than just copper and engraving. It's a piece of history minted during one of the toughest economic times in America, the Great Depression. The scarcity of coin production that year makes this penny especially unique. Unlike other years when millions of pennies were minted, the 1932 mintage numbers were significantly lower, which is why finding one in good condition today is like uncovering a rare gem. Collectors across the world look for specific features in the 1932 Wheat Penny. The front shows Abraham Lincoln's bust with the word Liberty and the year 1932 stamped clearly. The reverse side carries the classic wheat ears, which give this series its famous name. Over the years, variations such as weak strikes, doubling errors, or unusually preserved conditions have pushed the value of certain coins into astonishing price ranges. Many people underestimate old pennies, assuming they're only worth their face value. But the truth is, rarity, condition, and demand can dramatically increase the price of a 1932 Liberty Wheat Penny. Even circulated pieces in decent shape can fetch impressive amounts. Uncirculated or mint state coins with clear details and original luster can reach much higher figures in auctions and private sales. What makes this coin especially exciting is that there were no pennies minted in Denver or San Francisco that year. meaning all 1932 pennies came from the Philadelphia Mint. This adds another layer of historical value. If your penny has sharp details, minimal wear, and a strong strike, it could be exactly what collectors and dealers are looking for. There are also error coins from this year that can boost the value dramatically. Examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, or planchette issues that occurred during the minting process. These mistakes make each coin unique, and collectors often pay premium prices to own them. Auction houses, online platforms, and numismatic marketplaces have seen some 1932 Liberty wheat pennies sell for opening amounts, depending on their grade and rarity. Serious buyers are always on the lookout, which means if you own one, there are multiple avenues to explore when it comes to selling. Before rushing to sell, proper evaluation is crucial. Getting your coin professionally graded can reveal its true worth. Grading agencies examine every detail, from surface quality to strike clarity, and the Liberty 1 dime 1975 coin, written in SEO-optimized engaging storytelling style. It includes a powerful hook, smooth flow, no visual cues, no bullet points, and ends exactly as you requested. Have you ever imagined that a small dime in your pocket could secretly hold the power to change your financial story forever? The 1975 Liberty 1 dime is one of those mysterious coins that has taken collectors and experts by surprise. If you happen to own one of these dimes, it might just turn the tables for you in a way you never expected. So stick around until the end, because not only will you learn the story behind this remarkable coin, but you'll also discover its hidden value and how you can actually sell it. The 1975 Liberty 1 dime carries with it a unique place in American coinage history. Officially known as the Roosevelt dime, this coin design was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. The design by John R. Sinek features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, with the word Liberty inscribed prominently, symbolizing the nation's enduring ideals. On the reverse side, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch represent freedom, peace, and strength, a powerful combination that defined post-war America. By the mid-1970s, the dime had already been produced for decades, but 1975 stood out for one unusual reason. No dimes dated 1975 were supposed to exist with a proof mint mark error. During this period, the U.S. Mint was preparing for the nation's bicentennial coinage in 1976, and all proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint carried the S mint mark. However, a few rare 1975 dimes were struck without this mint mark, making them extraordinarily valuable. These error coins were never meant to be released to the public, but somehow, a couple of them slipped out, turning them into legendary rarities in the coin collecting world. For collectors, the 1975 No-S proof dime is a dream find. It is one of the rarest modern American coins known, with only 2 confirmed examples in existence. Each carries immense historical significance, as it represents a mistake during a major transitional period in U.S. coin production. The combination of a regular date with the absence of the mint mark has made these coins some of the most discussed pieces among numismatists. Beyond the famous no mint mark variety, regular 1975 dimes still hold collector interest, especially in pristine uncirculated or proof condition. Coins with full torch details, known as full bands, often fetch higher prices at auctions due to their sharp strike and rarity in high grades. Finding a coin that has been well preserved over decades can significantly increase its value, especially as collectors seek out high-quality examples for their sets. The historical backdrop of this coin also adds to its appeal. The mid-1970s was a time of economic changes, shifting policies, and a renewed national identity as the United States prepared to celebrate. Liberty wheat penny from 1955 in your collection or pocket change. It may look like just another old coin, but if you have the right one, it might turn the tables for you. Yes, this coin has shocked collectors for decades with its rarity and unexpected value. Stick around until the end of the video, because I'll tell you exactly how much this coin can be worth and how you can sell it the right way. The 1955 Liberty wheat penny is one of the most famous coins in American numismatic history, produced during the post-war boom. This penny carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse. But what truly sets 1955 apart is not just its design, but the extraordinary error that happened during minting, which created one of the most iconic varieties ever struck by the United States Mint. In 1955 at the Philadelphia mint, and unexpected die misalignment occurred. One die was impressed with the design slightly off from the other, causing the inscriptions to appear doubled. This error went unnoticed initially, and tens of thousands of these pennies were released into circulation mixed with regular coins. The result was the famous 1955 double-die wheat penny, easily recognized by the dramatic doubling on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the date itself. People who first discovered this coin were stunned. Unlike most minor errors that require magnification to see, this doubling can be observed with the naked eye. Collectors quickly realized that something special had been released, and a rush began as individuals tried to find this penny in their change. It became a sensation across the country, appearing in newspapers and coin magazines, drawing national attention. This coin's popularity is not just about its striking appearance. It also represents a unique moment in the history of the United States Mint when quality control slipped during a time of high demand. The 1950s were a period of rapid production, and catching errors before circulation was difficult. This created a perfect storm for one of the most beloved error coins in history. The regular 1955 wheat pennies are valuable in high grades, but the double die version is in a league of its own. Even worn examples can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Uncirculated versions with sharp details can fetch tens of thousands at auction, depending on their condition and certification. The wheat penny design itself is symbolic. Introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the wheat reverse was used until 1958. By 1955, it had become a familiar and nostalgic image for millions of Americans. The coin connects collectors to the early to mid-20th century, a period filled with change, growth, and unforgettable history. For those who understand numismatics, the 1955 double-die penny is not just an error coin. It is a cornerstone. It has inspired countless collectors to enter the hobby, and even today, it remains. Imagine holding a simple Australian 20-cent coin from 1981 in your hand and discovering that it could completely turn the tables for you. What if this ordinary-looking coin, often ignored in loose change, is actually worth far more than you ever imagined? Stick around until the end of the video to learn its real value and how you can sell it the right way to get the maximum return. The Australian 20-cent coin of 1981 carries a fascinating story that connects history, minting technology, and the global demand for rare varieties. This was a year when millions of these coins were produced, but within this huge mintage are specific pieces that stand out as treasures. Some coins from 1981 were struck at different mints, including the Royal Mint in London, and this gives rise to variations that collectors carefully seek out. The obverse side of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This particular portrait was used widely during that period, but certain small differences in striking detail, rim shape, or metal quality can help experts identify the origin of the coin. The reverse side displays the iconic platypus, designed by Stuart Devlin, a symbol that has become instantly recognizable in Australian coinage. What makes some of these coins so special are minting errors and varieties. Some 1981 Australian 20-cent coins show off center strikes, double strikes, or planchet flaws. A few even have differences in their rim or lettering, which occurred due to the minting process at the time. These rare characteristics turn an everyday coin into a valuable collectible piece. Coins struck in London have unique, identifying traits compared to those struck in Canberra. The London minted coins were produced to meet increased demand, and although many were circulated, a select few in pristine condition have survived. Collectors pay close attention to the edge, lettering, and even the alignment between obverse and reverse to spot these special pieces. Condition plays a major role in determining the value of a 1981 Australian 20-cent coin. A circulated coin with scratches and wear may fetch only a modest premium, but an uncirculated coin with brilliant luster and sharp details can be worth significantly more. Proof coins, or those preserved in mint sets, can command even higher prices in auctions and collector circles. Over the years, some error coins from this year have achieved impressive auction results. Double-struck coins, coins with clipped plankets, and those with die cracks have sold for prices that would surprise most people. The rarity and uniqueness of each error drive the demand higher among numismatists. Grading is an essential step before selling. A professional grading service can authenticate the coin, assign it a grade, and give it a certification number. This boosts buyer confidence and often leads to higher offers. Well-graded examples of rare varieties or mint errors from 1981 have fetched hundreds. If you ever come across a Liberty 5-cent coin from 1985, this might just turn the tables for you. Stick around until the end of the video to learn its potential value and how you can sell it for the best possible price. Many people think of this coin as just another nickel in their pocket, but certain variations and rare conditions can make it surprisingly valuable. What seems like ordinary change could be hiding a small fortune if you know exactly what to look for. 85 is part of the Jefferson Nickles series, which has been a staple of American coinage since 1938. By 1985, the design had already been in circulation for decades, but the value of these coins today depends heavily on their condition. Classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse shows his famous home, Monticello. These familiar designs were produced in large numbers, but not all 1985 nickels are the same. Collectors, pay close attention to mint marks found on the coin. In 1985, coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. While most examples are common, high-grade and circulated pieces and coins with minting errors can command premium prices. Errors like double die strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks are especially sought after. Even a small error, if preserved well, can turn a simple nickel into a valuable collectible. Another key factor is condition. Coins that have been kept in mint state without circulation, showing sharp details and original luster, are far more valuable than worn examples. Many people have these coins in old jars, collections, or inherited boxes without realizing their potential worth. A well-preserved 1985 nickel with the right features can fetch impressive amounts from serious collectors and dealers. The 1985 Liberty 5-cent coin also reflects a specific era of American coinage. While not a commemorative year, coins from this period sometimes contain unique variations caused by changes in minting equipment and processes. Some examples display die fatigue or slight design shifts, which increase collector interest. Market demand for Jefferson Nickles, especially rare varieties, remains strong. Online auction platforms, coin dealers, and private collectors are always looking for standout examples that can complete their sets or add to their investment portfolios. With the right knowledge, even a single coin can bring in unexpected profits. If you have a Liberty 5-cent coin from 1985, take a closer look at its mint mark, surface condition, and any signs of errors. These factors can drastically influence its value. Comment the price in the comment box below, and I will tell you its exact worth and guide you step by step on how to sell it for the best return. The year 2014 was a remarkable period in the United States coinage timeline because it was deep within the era of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This monumental program began in 2010 and ran through 2021, releasing 5 new reverse designs each year to celebrate national parks, historic sites, and treasured locations across the country. By 2014, collectors and the general public were eagerly anticipating each new release, as these coins had become highly collectible and educational pieces. The obverse of the 2014 quarter continued to feature the classic portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan and first introduced in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birthday. This portrait is iconic. Over the decades, it has remained largely unchanged, representing tradition and continuity in the quarters design. But the reverse of the 2014 quarters is where the magic unfolded. That year, the United States Mint released 5 different designs: Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee, Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, Arches National Park in Utah, Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado, and Everglades National Park in Florida. Each of these designs tells its own story and reflects the beauty and diversity of America's landscapes and history. The first design of 2014 honored the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It showed a rustic log cabin, a split rail fence, and a magnificent backdrop of the Smokies, along with a hawk soaring above. This design captures the tranquility and natural wonder of one of the most visited national parks in the United States. It speaks to the cultural heritage of the Appalachian region and the preservation of traditional ways of life. Next came the Shenandoah National Park quarter, featuring a hiker standing on the rocky summit of Little Stony Man Mountain, gazing over the sweeping landscape below. This image reflects both the natural beauty of Virginia and the spirit of exploration and preservation that defines America's relationship with its wilderness. The third coin of the year was dedicated to Arches National Park in Utah. Its reverse features the world-famous delicate arch, with the La Salle Mountains in the background. This is one of the most recognizable natural rock formations in the country, and the design beautifully captures the monumental scale and serene majesty of the site. The Great Sand Dunes National Park quarter came next. This design shows a father and son playing in the sand near Medano Creek, with the towering dunes and majestic mountains in the background. It symbolizes family, connection to nature, and the unique landscapes that make America's parks so unforgettable. 1942 uncover the fascinating story behind the Liberty 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another everyday nickel, but its place in American history and numismatics is far more significant than many realize. The year 1940 was a time when the United States was on the brink of monumental change. While the nation had not yet entered World War II, the effects of the global conflict were being felt strongly. The American economy was recovering from the Great Depression, and industries were shifting gears to support war efforts abroad. This changing landscape influenced not only politics and economics but also the country's coinage. The Liberty 5-cent coin of 1940 features the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson, America's third president and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The design was introduced in 1938, replacing the long-running Buffalo nickel series, created by artist Felix Schlag. The Jefferson nickel represented a more classical and architectural vision of American identity. On the obverse side, Jefferson's profile faces left. The inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1940 surround his portrait. The reverse depicts Monticello Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, a symbol of his intellect, innovation, and connection to American ideals. Above Monticello is the Latin motto "E pluribus unum." Below it reads Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. The year 1940 saw the continued production of this iconic design. This was only the third full year of the Jefferson nickel series, making early examples like the 1940 issue historically important for collectors. Production occurred at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each leaving its mark on the coinage of the era. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, at this time produced the largest number of 1940 nickels. Denver coins bore the D mint mark, while San Francisco coins were marked with an S. Together, these issues reflect the scale of coinage needed to support a growing economy still recovering from economic hardship. In total, more than 176 million Jefferson nickels were struck in 1940. Philadelphia produced approximately 176,485,000 coins. Denver struck around 43,540,000, and San Francisco contributed about 39,690,000. These numbers show the massive demand for coinage in daily transactions as the economy regained momentum. What makes the 1940 nickel especially fascinating is its position at the crossroads between peacetime coinage and the dramatic changes that would come during World War II. Just 2 years later, in 1942, the U.S. Mint would alter the composition of the nickel, removing most of the nickel metal and introducing the famous silver wartime nickels to conserve materials for the war effort. The 1940 Liberty 5-cent coins were still made from the original composition of 75. The 1947 Liberty 5-cent Jefferson coin is one of those surprising pieces that might just turn the tables for you. If you have this coin, stick around until the end, because we're going to uncover its fascinating history, explain why collectors hunt for it, and reveal how valuable it can truly be, along with how you can sell it. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the long-running Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the outburst features a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse showcases his famous Virginia home, Monticello. This design represented a modern shift in American coinage, focusing on clean lines and historical figures that embodied the ideals of liberty and leadership. By 1947, this series had already become a standard part of American circulation, but certain factors made this year especially interesting for collectors. The year 1947 marked the first full year after the end of World War II, when the U.S. Mint returned to using the standard copper-nickel composition. From 1942 to 1945, nickels contained silver due to wartime metal shortages, making those years special. In 1946, the composition reverted to the regular mix, and by 1947, Production stabilized as the nation transitioned back to peacetime economy. This period reflects a unique historical shift, and coins from these transitional years often attract collector attention because they tell the story of a nation recovering and rebuilding. The 1947 Jefferson nickel was produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. Each of these mint marks plays a role in determining a coin's rarity and value today. While millions of these coins were struck, high-grade survivors are not as common as many people think. Most nickels from that era were heavily circulated, which makes finding one in pristine condition a thrilling discovery. Collectors pay special attention to strike, quality, luster, and the sharpness of details, especially on Monticello steps. Coins that display full steps on the reverse are especially valuable because they indicate a strong strike that preserved the architectural details clearly. Finding a 1947 nickel with full steps is much harder than it sounds, and these pieces often command significantly higher prices on the market. Another reason the 1947 nickel stands out is its position between two historically significant periods. It follows the end of the wartime silver nickels and precedes the 1950 D nickel, which is one of the key dates in the entire series. As a result, many collectors include 1947 nickels when assembling complete Jefferson series collections, increasing their demand over time. There are also interesting varieties and minting errors known for this year. Double die outburst errors, off-center strikes, or a punch mint marks can dramatically increase a coin's value.